Pillars and guidelines. How to implement the universal design for learning and culturally responsive pedagogy in our practice. These pillars and guidelines were intentionally designed around UDL and CRRP. The pillars are the philosophy for what we are doing, and the guidelines are the way we do it. Kevin Gannon asks, what are we able to do to create a space where students could make connections to see the direct and urgent relevance of the course content to their life, and to affirm them as learners in progress, not just empty vessels to be filled up?
Pillars for our practice. These pillars should guide our practice in creating a culturally relevant and responsive environment for students to learn and grow. These pillars include creating classrooms that are inclusive, where teachers create and sustain a learning community. The idea that teaching is a reflective practice. Creating course content that is responsive to the students who are present in the class. And using the curriculum as a tool that outlines skills to help frame inclusive and responsive teaching practices. Students should have opportunities for collaboration to foster learning. Opportunities include seated groups, student-led learning communities, and opportunities for cooperative learning.
The teacher is a co-learner in the classroom. The teacher should be encouraging students to accept their role as experts in their interests and pursuits. They should be engaging in dialogue about texts while demonstrating how to take risks, validating student voice and experiences, while also modeling how to be vulnerable as a co-learner in the classroom.
Students should have choice and voice in all reading. Through choice and agency, students are empowered to engage with texts and each other in an authentic way. Course content is most meaningful and engaging when students feel as though they are seen and represented. Opting out of texts is encouraged and supported when necessary. Reading various types of text forms is valued and encouraged and empowers students to enjoy reading and writing. Various text forms include oral, visual, digital, environmental, and print texts. It is also encouraged to use cultural texts and to respect and acknowledge various ways of knowing. Please keep in mind that all categories intersect.
Assessment and evaluation is participatory and happens over time through the triangulation of observations, conversations, and products. It is vital that teachers understand all three steps in this process, as they are equally valuable in assessing and evaluating. Teachers need to know their students to deliver responsive content. Getting to know students empowers the teacher to create relevant content. Understanding the individual needs of students allows teachers to be responsive in their teaching. Delivering relevant and responsive content promotes a student-centered approach to learning, and creating responsive spaces allows students to construct meaningful learning for themselves. Students need to be the drivers and at the center of their learning. Teachers should model these practices daily to foster a culturally relevant and responsive environment. A student-centered classroom encourages self-advocacy, students seeing themselves as experts, students authentically engaging, and students feeling as though their experience is valued.
In creating a student-centered and culturally responsive space for students, consider Kevin Gannon's questions. How are students creating their knowledge? How am I making the space where students are the active agents of their own learning? How are they not just creating their own knowledge, but understanding how and why they are doing so? If students can't access that meaningfully, then what's the point? For ideas as to how you can create a culturally responsive classroom at the beginning of the year, please see our lesson ideas, which demonstrate how to get to know your students in an authentic way. All tasks were designed to be easily adapted and applied to any classroom. Click here to access the lesson ideas.